As we head into graduation season, here are some financial tips for those of you who may not have a senior this year, but you will in the near future. Tip number one, I would encourage you to explore options, especially the summer leading into your senior year or before. Don't leave any rock unturned. Make sure you're looking at all of the options for your child. Encourage your child to get a part-time job, but also encourage them to look into opportunities to job shadow in areas they might be interested in. Encourage them to look into internship opportunities and apprenticeship opportunities. These are all things that will help them to be a better informed consumer when they go to make that college decision or whatever decision they're going to make that will lead them to who they're called to be. So I would also consider a gap year. Look into gap year options. There are a lot of options out there that nonprofits offer and even for-profit options where your kids can make some money, but also get a better idea of what they really want to pursue before they make the big investment of a 4 or 6 or 8 year degree. Consider study abroad options. It might give your kids a great experience that they wouldn't have had otherwise. And traveling at a young age is a great time to look into travel before they have the responsibilities that might keep them at home more. Look into military options. The military offers some great options for high school seniors. And so you want to be aware of what those options are, and they might be some really affordable options that help your kids to get degrees and travel experiences they wouldn't have otherwise. And I would also encourage you to, if you have an entrepreneurial son or daughter, encourage them to look into starting their own business. Look into the Small Business Administration website. There are some great resources out there that you can find to help your son or daughter to start their own business. I would also encourage, for those entrepreneurial spirits, to read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. It's a phenomenal read for kids who just think outside the box and have an entrepreneurial spirit. There's a chance that your son or daughter isn't the right fit for a traditional 4-year college degree. They might just want to start their own business and get started with their careers right away. So be open-minded and don't leave any rock unturned when you're thinking about all of the options for your son or daughter. I would also ask you to consider FAFSA dates. The FAFSA is the federal aid application that you're going to apply for in order to receive aid from the government for your son or daughter. All colleges are going to require this. The application date is generally October 1st of your son or daughter's senior year in high school, all the way up to June 30th. Now, here's the caveat. If you don't apply right away, you have a lesser chance of receiving aid. So you want to make sure you apply as close to that October 1st deadline as you possibly can for your greatest chance of financial aid. Also, sit down and talk to your advisor. If you don't have an advisor, we'd love to sit down and talk to you about 2 things in particular before you file that FAFSA. One is your asset allocation. Most college juniors or most high school juniors and seniors are within a year of needing to pull money from their 529 accounts or their college savings accounts. So they shouldn't be invested as aggressively. Think of them as being 1 year from retirement. As a retiree, you wouldn't want all of your investment assets invested in stocks 1 year before retirement. We want to back off on the allocations and make sure at least that first year of payments is invested appropriately. So asset allocation is important, but asset location is just as important. Having money in a checking account is different than having money in a Roth IRA or a 401k or your house. Colleges look at those assets differently, and so we can help you as advisors to make sure your asset allocation and your asset location are appropriate so you can qualify for the most aid possible. The third thing I would ask you to consider, and most people skip over this part, is to have a sit-down conversation about affordability for college. What are you willing to cough up as a parent and provide for that kid? Setting clear expectations is going to protect that relationship, and we see it over and over again. Financial decisions, lack of financial communication can lead to breaks in relationships, and we don't want that to happen with you and your son or daughter. They might have an expectation you're going to provide X, and you have an expectation of Y, and they're different, and they've never been communicated, and it's going to lead to heartache and resentment later on. So we want to make sure to protect that relationship more than anything. So sit down with your son or daughter and clearly communicate how much you plan on helping them with college. So those are 3 steps to hopefully help you to make better financial decisions and to help your son or daughter to make better financial decisions before the biggest investment that they have ever made, which is deciding to go to college and what career to pursue.